Okay, so in this video we're gonna look at the Kiribati, and as always we're gonna look first at numbers. Let's have some context, demographics, economy, all that stuff, and then the main event of the video is gonna look how those people actually live in their land. So let's start with population. Kiribati has around 136,000 people and rising, as you can see. It didn't grow in rate, still well in a safe area, let's call it, for growing population. But back in 1955 they were around 42,000 people with a 2.2 growing rate. That would be like 840 people, zero migration, which is hard to believe, but it is what it is. Median age around 20 years old, one of those nonsense fertility rates 6.3, 6.4, and the urban population around 12%. Now in 2025 the population grew tremendously. Now it's 136,000 and still growing. Growing rate is around 1.5. That would be like almost 2,000 people. Migration on the minus, as you can see, for pretty much the entire history. They have migration on minus or zero, which is kind of hard to believe, but migration on minus. So people leave these lands. Median age around 23 years old, so not that much change. Fertility rate, well, much more manageable, 3.1, but still pretty high, I would say. Urban population around 58%, let's call it like that. In the future, in 2050, population they project is gonna reach 182,000 people with 1% growing rate. That will be roughly 1,800 people. Migration still on minus 336 people. Median age 28 years old, so not that much. Fertility rate goes down 2.5, and urban population around 70%. Life expectancy here pretty good, I would say, at 66, 67 years old. Females 68.5, males 65, which I believe it's a pretty decent age to just check out. Infant mortality rate 41.9, and death under age of 5 53.1. So medical system is just doesn't even exist anymore. Pyramid, as you can see, something interesting. They have a male surplus population by the age of 18, 16, let's go like that, but then they go in a female surplus population, so probably the migration is due to the male leaving the land and female staying, I would guess. The family stay behind, something like that, I believe. Let's see how that works. Well, economy of Kiribati is not well, let's call it like that. In 2018 they have probably those numbers. Look at this, GDP billions. 0.189, so they have only 189 million US dollars in 2018. In PPP it's around 240 million, and the per capita in 2018 again was nominal 1,600 US dollars, and PPP around 2,000. So not that much. Agriculture, probably that's why it's almost 25%. Industry 8%, and services pretty decent at 67, but still not enough, I would say. Probably gonna have more information here. Even here the unemployment rate in 1992 2%, but the unemployment rate today, as you can see here, in 2020, this is the recent I can find, was 11%, and the youth unemployment was 27%. So that it's interesting to see. Overall, I would say it used to be a British colony, part of the British Empire, as you can call it this one as you want. They got granted the independence in 1979, so not that long ago. Also, it's gonna be interesting to see. We have some new numbers here for GDP in 2023, I guess. They estimate nominal GDP is going to be around 248 million US dollars. Per capita nominal 2,000, and per capita here in PPP it's around 2,400, let's call it like that, with almost 300 millions PPP GDP. So yeah, not that much money even per capita, not that much money overall, but we're gonna see how that is gonna translate. Corruption, we don't have exactly for this part of the world there is corruption, but I believe as a ex-British Empire, it's gonna be around, I don't know, between 60 and 69, it's around that. So less corrupt, let's call it like that. History, well, this is right here when you look at them. Like I say, ex-British Empire, whatever you want to call it, colony. At some point they were part of the, especially in the during the war, let me see, Japanese invade the island from 1941 to 1943, so not that long. Clearly not can have that much history there, so yeah, that'll be interesting to see. But the main event, as you can see, that's a huge land when they spread, so absolutely impossible to manage, administrate something like this. Look at this, in the middle of the ocean pretty much. Let's go with this farther one. Let's see if we can find a 360 or anything to actually see. If not, we're just gonna go from above. Clearly they have a lot of communities here. Unfortunately, look at this, not one of the street views, not one of the 360, so it's impossible to see how those people actually from above. They are at least spread around a bit. In some areas a bit jammed, but not that much, so clearly clearly manageable, 100% manageable, no problems there, I would say. Interesting how they don't have not even one 360. It doesn't, you can even see how those people actually, if they have roads here, I'm not sure. Those look like paved roads to me from above, so, but I'm not exactly sure how well they are. People are pretty much spread around overall in even some areas, remote ones. Here used to be probably, oh no, they still have some construction there. Again, no 360, no nothing. It's gonna be hard to just see how those people live. But from above, at least it looks decent. Okay, they have an airport here, probably gonna use it as military as well, most likely. Clearly they are spread around on the island, and they have this, let's say, ring of highway, whatever they call it. Again, unfortunately, no 360, at least I don't see it. No, I don't see a 360. You can have those small islands they have here. I don't see a 360 or anything to actually see how those people live. They have another airstrip here, and they look pretty decent maintained from above. I'm not sure exactly how that is gonna look, but from the ground level, that it seems like they could be in use. Again, probably was some battle here in World War II with Japanese Empire, so yeah, a bit of the history there, but like I said, for a few years, not that much as I compare with what the British left behind, you know, decades and decades of domination, let's call it, and control. Yeah, unfortunately, no 360. I can check anything like that and don't know exactly how those people live. Here, the same story, but clearly they have, like I say, almost 130, yeah, 136,000 people. They will be spread around. I mean, 160, there is something. It's a decent population, especially for places like this. I mean, we check countries like a few thousand people, so yeah, here it's a pretty decent one. Unfortunately, again, the economic opportunities in this timeline for those people in these areas is not that great, so yeah, it's gonna take a toll on the migration, like we saw. Oh, that's interesting. Look at this. The airstrip on the entire length of the island, the width of the country, the island. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna change that much in the future. Because when you see people leaving the country, clearly things are not going well there. Again, there are a few hundreds, but it's a small population, so it's noticeable, I would say. So probably, yeah, even this century, at least by the half of the century, if not by the end of the century, I don't think the opportunity is gonna improve that much here, but I guess it is what it is. What else can we see? This one definitely. Again, no 360s, no nothing. Not even. It's like they don't even exist. Somebody should go there and make at least some 360s, if not the street views. Here used to be an airstrip. Probably they use it in World War II. Who knows? Yeah, look at this. It's like they don't even exist. It's just, and clearly it's gonna be a nice place here to see. So probably the tourist industry, especially in those islands, it's in existence, I would say, because if you have a hotel or resort, you definitely want to post some pictures. At least make your presence known on the public. But yeah, from above is pretty standard what we see so far. It's nothing wow amazing or extraordinary. It's just basic want to see colonies, because they're not colonies. This one, I'm not sure if it is from this part of the world. We have some 360 here, but I don't see that red line, so yeah, I don't think it's Kiribati here. But look at the airstrip. Ooh, pretty interesting here. I don't think it's part of the Kiribati, probably part of something else. I'm not gonna check that now. Probably they're gonna have some small islands here and there, but I can't see them, so clearly it's gonna be very small. Oh, look at this, they have even those small ones. Here they have a few. I'm not sure. This one they have a few, but same statistic. I mean, look at this, somebody can actually live here. That's insane. Oh, they have some scrap metal here. Here they cut the roof, so yeah, probably they just no way somebody's actually living there. They have some roads, and I'm not sure if they're paved roads, but somebody bothered make those roads. And they have some construction here, but again, this one looks pretty new, so probably there are people actually live here. Can you imagine living in pretty much in the middle of the ocean? Obviously everything is going to be expensive, and what employment opportunity can you have on this island with like 5 people? You just have to rely on the welfare. There is no way you can provide for yourself here. There are barely any trees to start with, so yeah, probably they don't even have like fresh water or something like that. They don't have a 360. Clearly it looks like a forgotten world here, I have to say. At least those are not settled by people, but look, you see some of them they were, and they have definitely some construction on them. Probably most of them, a few of those islands obviously probably is gonna be like that was a 360 there, no, like I don't know, national parks or something like that. But yeah, and even some of them you can see there are a few people actually living there. Probably we see those constructions, which is, in my opinion, it's okay. It's insane to just pretty much live here in the no man's land. Just nothing there. I have to say, why would you bother living in a place like this? It's just, there is no way you're gonna have some access to anything. Those are not, no, we have some 360 in some of those. Who knows, maybe it's the government that doesn't allow them. It could be, but I highly doubt that. Maybe it's just people are not interested in that. Clear, look at this, have some settlements here, have some population. And keep in mind, this is a country that population, it is growing, so it's not like, oh, they go out and population still go down. No, it's actually growing. Look at this, it makes so it can actually go on the sea. Population, actually it is growing. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that is gonna play out. Most of the people living on this part of the island, and there are quite a few people, I would say, compared with what we see in other places. They have the airstrip here. I believe it was an airstrip. Looks like that to me. And they're gonna receive some supplies. Pretty decent. It's amazing. Look at this, even here, how people actually live in those places. Like pretty much by yourself. They have some solar panels here. Ooh, they have a round intersection. They are very civilized here. Again, another airstrip. It's pretty good. Again, from above, I saw so many on this. Well, we're gonna check all of them, obviously, on this part of the world. It's just basic now. I don't think they have paved roads, so yeah, just dirt roads, which is fine at some point. You just don't need it that many. Yeah, we saw so many in these regions just to kind of know how those people already live. So, but it would be nice to have some 360, to have actually some footage from the ground. This one, it looks a bit like a resort here. It could be a nice resort here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they should have at least, like I say, some 360s to actually check them. Usually they have, I don't see a resort or a hotel or something like that, but when they don't have it, that would be insane. How are you gonna find it? You wanna check that on the map before you make the reservation. You just can go there and expect nothing. They have, again, they're a, I want to say huge population, actually, but for those islands, they are actually a huge population. So it makes sense to be spread around all over those islands. Now, I was curious how those people actually live some 360 to see how it is on the ground level. From above, it looks like every other island that we check. It's not something spectacularly or weird from above. But yeah, I can see they are spread around. This one looks like a resort. I'm not sure, but again, I don't believe it is because there's no 360, no nothing there. In a way, it's kind of amazing, you know. In those remote islands, have these solar panels, have new construction, new materials. They done something. It's not like they just live for nothing. Even if you have, let's say, some paved roads and electric power and cars, it's still, in a way, an achievement. I have to say, it is an achievement in such a remote places with not that much interest, I would say, in this region. You still manage to do something. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just it's a good start. Let's call it like that. Yeah, the technology is gonna save those people. Nothing else. I don't think even politics is gonna save them. More like a technology, like I say, make it to the house level. Just make your clean water. Make some sort of the sewage, some sort of the electricity, internet, and all that stuff to actually pretty much even education at the house level. We need to have some sort of the online online education. That's gonna be equally as a regular one, so you can actually educate every single one. It doesn't matter where you live, you can have part of the same education as anyone in the world. That would be amazing. It's gonna be great. Yeah, in this part of the world, definitely some people, but I guess it's nice to see them achieving that. Just go everywhere. But again, I wish we have some 360s. Yeah, they have communities pretty much everywhere. You can see where the people are, just tree disappears at some point. Not everywhere, they're surrounded by trees. But again, no 360s whatsoever. It might be a government, who knows? Actually forbid them to just make those 360s to show the world where they live and how they live. But yeah, you can see from above, it's pretty standard. That's probably the powerhouse right there, the power plant. Yeah, pretty basic, but again, it's gonna be interesting. Like I say, I wish we have more information, more 360s to check, at least a few of them, not even more. I didn't find one. So clearly the government might have a thing or two to say about it. Ooh, that's a nice bay here. Yeah, from above it's pretty standard. It's not much I can check, but it's interesting, like I said, to see how spread around they are. They have a road here, and this looks like a paved road to me from above. It looks like a paved road, at least at some point was a paved road. So probably have to have that much distance. Probably they have some cars here. I don't see them from above, but they have to have, right? Some cars, even have a bridge here. So yeah, there is no way they don't have cars. There's a lot of money put in these infrastructures. Being an independent I'm not sure exactly if they depend some funds from the UK or something like that. They are independent countries, but clearly they're gonna get some funds from I don't know, from the other countries, even to UN or something like that, so they can actually improve their life. And from above, hopefully, I'm just pretty much speculated, it looks like they done something with those funds. I mean, I see new roofs of the houses. I don't see cars. At some point I see roads. I saw some solar panels. So they use a lot of airstrips to get supplies. So they done a thing or two with the money. That's why I believe that it's less corrupt in this part of the world. It's not exactly how we saw in other parts. Here a bit jammed together, but maybe it actually is working for them Doesn't seem to have that's a huge houses and all that stuff. A lot of roads here, one on each side, which is pretty interesting. Here again, those are new constructions, as you can see by the roof. Those one, it looks older, but in this one it looks an under construction area, so clearly they try to improve. And this actually is pretty packed island. They have a lot of construction here. Have an airstrip here. They are pretty much not jammed together, but they are a lot of them. Again, an airstrip here. I'm not sure if those are houses, but I don't think so. This one, it looks like a construction area. This one on this coast, yeah, this is okay. Solar panels, yeah, those are dirt roads. I don't believe they are paved roads. Come on, I don't see them like that from above. But hey, maybe they don't. Clearly, they don't need that many roads here, and a paved road probably is gonna be insanely expensive. Although they have this bridge, which that could not be cheap. But yeah, again, fortunately we don't have 360s or street view to confirm it. Wow, it might be one of those island country that actually cannot find one 360. So clearly, if you can find one, it is definitely because of a government. Because I hardly believe nobody make one of those 360s. Probably, if you want to try to upload one, then Google just delete it or doesn't let you. Oh, we have one. Okay, maybe it's not the government. Maybe also actually those areas. Definitely from Kiribati. Have the plate right there. So yeah. Pretty basic so far. First of all, it's the first 360 that we saw. I think we saw another one here. No, it's just someone else's house. Okay, we have one. Well, they did something. One. Maybe it's the main island. That's why. Who knows? Oh no! Look at this. Now we have. What the fuck? Now we have street views here. Let me check the other islands. Maybe show you. Don't make some mistakes. No, those ones don't have it. Okay, so this maybe is the main island. Okay, let's go with the trees. Let's go with the trees, and then we'll go to the street view. I like it. I like it. Again, at some point it was a paved road. Now just pretty much gets sunk. Let's see the 360. Hopefully the street view. Hopefully it's good. Oh, it's actually a good quality. This is 2023, so pretty recently. Maybe they just start making those 360s and street views, and we're gonna start to see them coming. But for $2,000, how much it was? 2,000 nominal per capita. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. A lot of cars. Road actually looks pretty good here. Some dog right there. That's the bus station. Doesn't look that well if it's the bus station. Doesn't seem like 2,000 per capita so far. It feels like much more. At least 3 times is that. Houses here, well, not so well, but I don't like those yards just clutter with whatever the fuck they're doing there. Those could be some stores. Yeah, it doesn't look that well. This is the main road, maybe, I believe. But the road is good. Again, probably they don't have that many cars, so you cannot damage that road too much. That's an expensive car. That's an expensive car for Kiribati. I don't see that car, but that's expensive one. And that too looks like an expensive. Oof. Not sure which one is it. It looks like a Subaru to me, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, so some of them actually doing pretty well in the car department. It's not that bad. They have, I don't know who's gonna get fooled by that hat, but the helmet. They have motorcycles, scooters, which is good. Cars wise, they have quite a lot of the cars. Look at this, those Hilux are expensive, so clearly they have some. This one, he got stuck here. Ooh, let's check more of those. Ooh, again, expensive. Yeah, some of them they don't live that bad. But again, at some points, a lot of population is gonna drag that GDP. It's like any other country. You're gonna have the main city or the main island or whatever. It's gonna have clearly much more money per capita than others, and everyone else is gonna drag them down overall because the GDP per capita usually is made by the from entire island, entire country, and not just. Probably recently I start to see them making them on the city level. Now we're stuck here again. Wow, I didn't expect to see. Look, let's check those streets here. And I expect to see that street views after I didn't see anything. Wow, that's quite a few cars there. Those fences here is just doesn't look that okay to me. It's just wasted money and also looks horrible. Some garbage here, I don't like it. Yeah, it doesn't look that well. When you put people, yeah, those not even close. I mean, come on, not even close. I'm not sure exactly what they built here. Maybe I don't think it's a church, but hey, it could be a church. Who knows? Have around here. Roads actually are pretty decent, I have to say, but housing so far as we saw in that part, it doesn't look that well. But for that, how much money they have here, because it's pretty much a highway for them here. It is not so bad, I have to say. It does not look so bad. Wow, look at that. How many clothes those people have? 2 water tanks. Here the road, it's missing entirely. It's just pretty much covered in water. Probably rain a night before. House is pretty big, but hey, I want to check something. Do they have those windows like that? No, they don't have actually windows. They just have those open and closed windows. Ooh, those are expensive cars, by the way. Yeah, probably they're gonna be the same story. People choose to, yeah, I don't like this one. Choose to live to work outside the country and then come back. See the migration on minus, and they come back and spend the money here. It could be one of those things. Oh, that's an expensive car. Probably it's a company car. I'm not sure exactly what they working there. This looks pretty much like a junkyard. Even the dog is very skinny. Even they don't do that well here. One of those paved concrete roads, which is pretty decent. Those apartment buildings, not so well with me. But it's one of those total nonsense. Oh, maybe it's actually a company here, not an apartment building. Huh. Yeah, it could look like that. Ooh, those are expensive cars right there. All of them. All of them are expensive cars. Yeah, clearly the main island. Don't need to fool anyone else. Let me check this one here between the line. Oh, no, we check this one. Sorry, check this one. Yeah. Hey, those houses actually looks better. More traditional. Everybody's just drying the clothes in front of the yard. A lot of cars here again. Maybe it's a state. It's a symbol. Just have more cars. You're gonna get perceived like a more rich. Yeah, I don't know who's fooling with those fences. It's just I don't see the point of them. It just looks ugly and doesn't pretty much delimitate anything. Some garbage here. I don't like it. Well, yeah. Overall, it's not that bad, but also clearly not great at all. It is what it is. A lot of cars here for whatever reason. Probably they're, I don't know, cheap enough, or just who knows, maybe other countries gonna send them to them. It's like, hey, we're gonna give you cars. They're gonna be junk cars, but it's gonna get them for free, and just wanna escape, get rid of those cars and just send them to those people, and maybe they can make it work at some point. Yeah, that's interesting. That's pretty much a highway over ocean, which is not gonna be cheap to build, but they did it to connect these small parts. Not sure exactly if it's worth it, but let's see how those people live. Maybe it's actually live better. Yeah, not so much. But the road, probably, again, the road is probably is very recently, that's why it's looking so well. They have a church here. Again, those fences, just what's the point of that? First of all, it's a church, you should not have a fence. And second of all, it's gonna take a lot of money. And third, a church always has to have, like I say, open doors, so what's the point of the fence or a door? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Here I can see that 2000 per capita. I can see it. Probably, like I said, probably they get those cars for, I'm not saying for free, probably the government just, hey, we're gonna take some cars and we're gonna give them to people, but we're gonna charge them for them, obviously, because it's, capitalism. It's the same story that like we have here in Europe, with Germany, for example. A lot of people from the East European countries go to Germany, auction their cars. They pretty much give them the cars for free. I mean, just they spend like, I don't know, a few €100 on a car, or maybe €1,000 on a car, and they send it here and they sell it here for at least 3 times as much. They just want to get rid of the cars. Sometimes they have some problems, but it's an auction. You cannot check them that much. So yeah, it's pretty much a gamble. Probably the same system is gonna work in the countries like this too. We try to move away from that system. Now we just only allowed. We got, let's say, more picky about what cars we buy. So now we test them, we check them before, so we don't have that many junk cars anymore. So that's a step forward. And also we start buying more and more, I would say, new cars in the first place. So yeah, I'm not saying that industry is dying, but clearly got improve or see better. Yeah, a lot of garbage here. I don't like it. It's just no. Oh, look at this. We have a probably from the war remaining. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Oh, it's the same one. What else came up? Thought we're gonna see another 360, but I don't remember. Oh, this one here. Yeah, thought I see another one. Here not that much garbage, so probably was something with that beach, but there is this war machine. Yeah, a tire there. Okay, not that clean, but still could be worse. Yeah, overall I'm glad that we have at least something to see on the ground level. Whoa, a lot of garbage. Oh, the bus station. Let's see how the bus station look. Well, I seen worse, but this one with that garbage, if they didn't have the garbage and those bench would be freshly painted, I would say, yeah, that's a pretty good one. But doesn't look that well. A lot of cars again. Look at this. How many cars those people have? Come on. What are you gonna do with that many? Just buy one car and maintain it as much as possible and as best as possible. Yeah, can see the poverty here. 100% in this part of the island. I can see the poverty. Doesn't look that well. As a general advice that I start to do it myself, it's if you want to buy stuff, just buy the highest quality as minimum as possible, and think when you buy something, even if it's like 2 or 3 times more expensive, something that's gonna last you for your entire life. This is how I do it right now. It's just buying only thing that's gonna last me for pretty much entire my life. And I'm talking here about, I don't know, simple things like a pen. I just bought a pen. It's like I pay probably, like I said, 3 times more than I would pay for a regular one, but I know it's gonna last me a long time. So yeah, houses here. Clearly this island is the poor one. There is the poverty, it's at home. Doesn't look well at all, but they have good roads, I give you that. That's nice. And doesn't seem to be that much garbage, but even something like this in my book is not acceptable, because look at this, like not that many people in the first place around, and it's in front of your yard. Probably they use this for heating, I guess, or cooking, who knows. A lot of cars on those narrow streets doesn't make that much sense to me. At least they keep them inside their property, which is good. But again, on the outside, on the street, they don't have that much space in the first place. But at least they do that, so I have some respect for that. That is actually pretty good. Not that many people on the islands, which they are pretty much spread around. Ooh, they have a port on these islands, so they should do pretty well here. Whoa, that's a lot of scrap metal. So probably here they end up the cars. Who knows, maybe other countries, they just send them the junk here. I'm not sure exactly, but they seems to do that. At some point, all this scrap metal is gonna get very valuable, especially with the new generation of cars. Probably they're thinking already, hey, we're gonna build a car for the next 10 years. And after that, it's just pretty much gonna get recycled. And who knows, maybe the price is gonna get much cheaper now. I believe a car should never cost more than $10,000, 10,000 euros. And then getting recycled, like 95% of that car. Here the bus station looks pretty good again. A bit of garbage here, I don't like it, but it's pretty decent. Yeah, a car should last like I say 10 years, and then you buy a brand new one and you recycle that car, like I said, at least 90% of that car, and just buy a new one, no more than 10,000. And it should be good. I mean, you can spend 10,000 every 10 years on a car, it's not that bad. Even if after those 10 years, just, hey, I give you the car for free, but give me another one for 10,000. With improves things, like, I don't know, safety and especially if it's a battery car, it's not gonna have that much to improve in the first place. The power, it's already way too much for those cars, so that department is fixed. No pollution, that department is fixed. The only pollution that we have is how you build the car and where you take the materials. That's you can work that on a different angle. It's not like now we have Euro emission standards and all that stuff, so you can fix that very easily. And then it just improve the process of manufacturing and recycling, and it should be pretty safe domain to active for a car company, I would say. Yeah, unfortunately here we don't have any of those 360s, but I am glad to see that at least we have some pretty decent, I would say, street view. Quality is very good actually. 360, not that much, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. Fortunately, I hope they don't choose to show only the good stuff, because it wasn't that good in the first place. Oh, we have a street view here, but hey, at least we saw something. Yeah, I'm not sure it's a road here or it's just close to this airstrip. Not sure, but at least we have something to see. For a small nation spread around on the half of the ocean, I have to say it is not bad. It is not bad. It can be improved, and it will be improved obviously, but I can wait, like I say, probably in the next, if I'm still alive, in the next 25 years, how those people actually gonna see actually improvement, a real one, have the same life quality as at least, I don't know, Central Europe. That would be interesting to see. Or it's just gonna remain the same level, or who knows. Probably the same level is hard to remain. It doesn't matter where you live right now in this world, it's gonna be hard to stay at the same level in 25 years. In the next 25 years, as you're living today, it's gonna be extremely tough, so nobody's gonna live like that. But it's gonna be interesting to see how much they improve. That would be something to keep an eye on. Yeah, here we don't have 360s or street views, but I think we saw how those people live, at least in that main island. Clearly that was the main island, to my opinion, which is pretty good. Here I don't think it's going outside our reach. We are not. Yeah, we have a lot of 360s and street views, but we are not in Kiribati anymore, so yeah. Okay, so that's the Kiribati, I guess. Look how spread around they are. Look at this, how huge distance they have between them. It's just pretty much, this one is the middle of the ocean. Yeah, tough to administrate something like that. But I guess that's the country, that's the Kiribati. Where was the, look at this, we have those islands here that we checked. So yeah, very, very well, very spread around. Look at this Hawaii, where it is. Just pretty much some points as level as Hawaii. Yeah, what can we say about them? Oof, it's gonna be a tough one. Population is still growing. At some point, probably it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna grow to more than 250,000 people, and then we're gonna see probably some decline. Who knows? Migration has to stop. People has to stop leaving the country. Not that much. Again, it's like 300 people leaving. It's not a huge amount, but it just shows how those people live. They are pretty restricted in travel, I guess. So that's why it's gonna be tougher for more people to leave. Who knows? Maybe with the new technologies and more access, we're gonna see probably even more people leave if things are not turning in a good way here. I'm curious how it's gonna be in the next 25 years for them. How well it's gonna do. Population, I believe, should be around island like this, probably like 10,000, something like that, to actually have a great life. But hey, could work with even more than that if you have some good leaders. But I don't believe there is such things as human leaders, good human leaders, but it is what it is. Yeah, I guess that's the video. Check the other ones that I made, especially in this region, and see you in the next one.